This is Shakira with Life with Kara and Kai, but this is Kara, and I'm doing a story time with you guys. This is my story and my journey about how I became a single mother of one, Kai. Alright, guys, so let's get into the story. Well, I was 27 at the time, and I became pregnant with my daughter. And me and her father were not in an actual relationship at the time. So I went to the doctor's office and I found out I was pregnant. And when I called him, we had a conversation, and I called him and he gave me an ultimatum. It was either him or her, and I chose her. It wasn't a difficult choice, but it was an emotional choice because I didn't expect for him to give me that type of answer. It hurt me, but at the end of the day, I'm happy that I have my daughter. I was pregnant with my daughter at 27. I was afraid to tell my mom, so when I told my mom, I ended up breaking down crying. And when I told her that I was pregnant, she actually wasn't upset with me. She was like, Shakira, you're 27, not 16 or 18. I would be upset if you were younger, but you're 27, and I'm not upset. At the time, I was a mother. That's with my mom. And I didn't have a job at the time either. So my mom and my siblings played a big part in helping me raise my daughter. And, well, my mom and my sisters. And and my brother-in-law. So he was more of a father figure for my daughter, both of my brother-in-laws, and I'm grateful for that. But at the time, I'm pregnant, and it was emotional because at my first appointment, I got are you here alone? No one's here with you? And that's when I started bawling out crying because yes, I was alone. Just now I'm trying to see my daughter for the first time, and my sister was supposed to come, but she couldn't make it. So I ended up going in by myself, and I heard her heart beat, and I bawled out crying. Months come, and I was 9 weeks at the time. So months go down the line. We're finding out what Kai was. Now, in my heart of heart, I knew that she was going to be a girl. But everybody in my family was like, no, you're not having a girl, you're having a boy. And the way that it goes in my family, my mother has one boy and the rest are girls. Which I believe is 6 of us, we're girls. The rest of us are girls. And with my mother's children, there goes boy, 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 girl. With every last one of her kids. And then one of us got another boy at the end. But the pattern, boy, 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 girl, boy, 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 girl. And nobody thought that I would actually have a girl first. And I kept telling them, like, I'm having a girl, I have a feeling I'm a girl. My 2 sisters, Z and T, which we're going to call them Z and T, they came to my ultrasound with me. And that's when I changed my whole heart and decision. I said, I'm not having a girl, I'm having a boy. But in my heart of heart, I knew I was having a girl. And ultrasound tech was like, do you want to know? I said, no, I don't want to know. But then everybody's like, you want to know? I said, yes, I want to know. Because I was scared. I thought that I didn't know what I was talking about. But I had a feeling my daughter was a girl from the day that I had her in my womb. And the doctor said, you're having a girl. Well, the ultrasound tech said, you're having a girl. And I smiled because I knew she was a girl. It was in my heart of hearts. I knew she was a girl. And it was the best feeling in the world. My mom couldn't believe that she was a girl. She said sometimes ultrasound techs make the mistake and your daughter could be a boy. And I'm like, ain't no way they making no mistake. This is a girl. So we're happy. Mind you, I was around the time, I think 4 months, 14 to 15 weeks when I found out about my daughter. And we goes about it. I get a phone call from the doctor a couple of weeks later saying that my daughter has no nose. So I broke down and I told my sister, like, they said that on the ultrasound they couldn't find her nose. They don't think she has a nose. So we call my cousin. She is a pastor. We called her B. And we called her. And I told her what was going on. And she's like, we're going to pray about it because I know that you're going to have a healthy baby and you know that you're going to have the baby and God knows that you're going to have a healthy baby. But at the time, I was scared. I thought the doctors were lying. Honest to goodness, I thought that they were just trying to scare me to not having my child. So then months go along. I'm still thinking my daughter's going to come out without a nose. And my mom, she wanted to throw me a baby shower. But as for me, I didn't want a baby shower because I was too ashamed of me not being married and I'm having a kid. And me and the father isn't together. So my mom still gave me a baby shower. And I was happy. I was thankful and grateful for the baby shower. But to be honest, I was very emotional and upset because of the simple fact that, one, my child's father wasn't there. Two, my father wasn't there. Now, my father is another story. He told my mother that he was going to come to my baby shower. And for me, it made me upset when he didn't show up because there's multiple occasions that he has done that in my past. And it really hurt me. So, he's a different story. For me, I am the second youngest on my mother's side. And I am the second oldest on my father's side. And my father, I believe, has 14 or 15 kids. But I am the second oldest of the children. But my dad has, after the age of 10, my dad has been really not there. He has been living his life with other people in mind. But my mom has always been there from day one for me and my siblings and my sisters. My mother, she's an RN and she's the most beautiful woman in the world. I love her. Don't mind me, I'm getting emotional because I think about this. Because I love my daughter. The day towards the end of my baby shower, I was upset because I waited by the door and it was raining and my father never showed up. And I told myself, like, look, your father never really shows up for anything, so why would he show up for this? And it hurt me because I'm tired of speaking negative over my life when it comes to him or my child's father because I feel like men disappoint me. And I know it's not all men, but I felt like it at that point in time. My child's father is another story. Now, my daughter knows her dad. She knows who he is now. She has a relationship with him now. But then, from the age of the time she been born up until 5, it was a rocky situation when it came to him. And it kind of still is. Him and his family. But she's an amazing little girl. She came out, her birth was scary. Now, when I had her, the day that I had her, it was a day after a hurricane. And I had got up. And it was around about 7:30. I had got up in the morning and I had to go to the bathroom because I felt the urge that I had to pee. And come to find out, I didn't have to pee. My water had broke all over my bedroom floor. And I didn't know what to do. But that wasn't the kicker. The kicker was I locked my bedroom door. And I had no way for nobody to come in when I screamed out. Or I was scared to walk to the door to let myself out. So I picked up my cell phone and I called my mother. And my mother was on her way to work and she works in Philadelphia. So therefore I picked up the phone and called my mom and asked my mom to come home. My mom's like, no, Shakira, call India. I'm not coming home. I'm going to work. Now for me, I was upset and emotional because she's been at all of my other siblings' births and whatnot, and I wanted her to be there because my father isn't here, so I wanted her to be here. But she couldn't be there because she went to work. So my younger sister India, which she knows how to drive, And I don't have my license, which that is another story. I'm scared to drive, but also prior to that, it's a different story to the reason why I don't have my license. And we'll have another story time on that, and that one gets juicy. But anyway, back to this story. I called my sister India and I told my sister India my water broke. So my sister India, she came rushing over. I lived in the house at the time with my nephew and my niece and I had to get them. I had to hurry up, try to figure out how to get up and stop leaking all over the floor because this is my first child. I'm 27. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to stop it or nothing. So my first sense was to go to the bathroom and grab a pad. So that's what I did. I grabbed the pad. Got myself together, grabbed my diaper bag, woke my nephew and niece up, got them dressed, told them I had to go to the hospital, and I was not calling the ambulance because the hospital is directly across the street from my house. No, I was not going to walk. Not literally directly across the street, but I live in a long complex. I lived in the back of this complex, but the hospital was across the street from it. And I was not going to walk, so I called my sister because I needed somebody there with me. I didn't want to be by myself. And my sister came and got me and my nephew and my niece. So we were on our way to the hospital, and they had got me into the room. My doctor was a student doctor. It wasn't even my GYN, and I really wanted my GYN to deliver my baby. It wasn't him. It was actually a child, a student doctor. I can't say he was a child. He was young. But he was a student doctor. And they had put a strip behind my daughter's head. So they said it was supposed to induce my labor. And it really didn't do much. He gave me food so that I can eat. And yeah. So my sister, and back to where I skipped. My sister and my nephew and my niece had left, and my older sister T came, and she stayed with me when I gave birth. Stayed with me through the whole thing. The situation got deeper at the time because it was really emotional. I was hooked up to the monitor, and my daughter had flatlined. And the nurses was like, my sister went out in the hallway and told them like she flatlined. They was like, oh, we see it out here. She's okay. She'll be all right. She'll come back. They was right. Her heartbeat came back. Then again, she had flatlined. They was like, well, she's okay. She'll be fine. Her heartbeat will come back. And I'm like, something's wrong. I feel it. Something's wrong. Because in my heart, I knew something was wrong. I felt it. And that's when the third time my daughter flatlined, and they were out in the hall. My sister went out and she said she flatlined again, and I don't see it coming back. And the nurses came in and they're like, we gotta rush you back to the operating room. Her heartbeat is gone. We gotta rush you back. So they went and I guess they went to go check and see if it was a room available. And the doctors and everything, and they said I had to wait because somebody else was already getting a cesarean section. And they were scared at the same time because of the simple fact that my daughter her heartbeat wasn't coming back. So they was trying to figure out how they can get me back in time to get my cesarean to where my baby's not going to pass. And I'm in the bed crying because I don't know what to do. I'm 27. This is my first child. I thought I did something wrong, and I honestly didn't know because I don't know anything. I didn't know anything at the time. I thought I was going to have my baby natural. I didn't think that I was going to be getting cut open on that table. They finally brought me back. It was the table in the room was available, and they finally had brought me back, but my sister couldn't come back with me. I was scared. 27 going to 28 by myself in the medical room. The doctors see me crying like horribly. They saw me crying because I didn't know what to do and I was scared. I'm by myself. All the nurse did was look at me in the face and say, Shakira, take a deep breath. Give me a hug. Please don't move. But I was shaking because I could not. You put a needle in my back. Oh no. No. But they said, please stop shaking because this wouldn't be pretty. And I'm like, I can't stop shaking. I'm scared. And they're like, please take a deep breath. And the lady hugged me tightly. After she hugged me tightly, that's when they finally got the needle in my back, my epidural. and I finally got rolled over to about to get cut open. My sister finally came back, and I was able to see my face, and I was relieved. I was relieved, but at the same time, they were telling my sister step by step what they're doing, and I wanted my sister to record it. She said, "I'm not recording that." Oh no! And I'm like, I just want to see what my baby look like. I want to see how this goes or whatever. She didn't record it. She didn't want to see that. I had to wait. So when they brought Kai out, I started crying hysterically. And she's like, "What are you crying for?" I said, "Well, maybe she won't like me. What if she don't like me? She don't even know me. She might not like me because she don't know me." And my sister's like, "Shakira, calm down." But in my heart, I'm like, she don't know me. This baby don't know me. I'm a stranger. She don't know. But at the same time, I had to realize she been in my womb for this long, for 9 months. And she heard my voice for 9 months. So I know she know who her mother is. But at the same time, I'm like, she don't know me. But then they brought her over so that I could see her. They brought her over so I could see her, and at the time I'm looking over and I said, "Please back her up." And they said, "Why?" I seen her, she's so beautiful. I was like, "Please back her up." They was like, "Why?" I said, "I'm about to throw up." And all of a sudden I threw up all over the hospital room and almost on my daughter. And it was only because I ate hours before. And I wasn't supposed to eat. The teacher doctor pulled the wrong card. And I also found out I was allergic to whatever medicines they were giving me while I was having my cesarean. And it made me real sick to the point that I was in and out, literally in and out. Like, I opened my eyes, I saw my daughter, and I was out. I'll put in clips and pictures of how I looked during my daughter's birth and how she looked after I gave birth to her. She's the most beautiful baby. I know everybody says it about their child, but I'm going to say it. My baby was beautiful. So I was in and out, and I think I didn't see her until like a day later. And I didn't even know who that baby was when I saw her. And I said, "Who baby is this?" And they're like, "This is your baby." Mind you, I told you I was in and out, so I didn't remember anything. I tried to get up to go to the bathroom, and I realized something was down there, and it was a bag. And a bag and a Foley, so I couldn't move, and it felt very awkward. And when they finally said that I can get up, they took it out. I didn't like the way it felt. I needed them to take it out. And when they finally said I can get up, I got up, and I wanted to walk around. And I held my baby. I was upset because at the time, even though I was in and out, I could see my daughter getting Similac. And for me, my choice was not to give my baby any type of formula. I wanted to breastfeed, but that wasn't my choice. I didn't have that choice. So it hurt me. But the nurses came in and they tried to teach me how to breastfeed, and I pumped and everything. And when she went home, I was able to pump and I was able to breastfeed her. But at that time, I ended up having to go to my sister's house, and I felt uncomfortable because she had her fiance and little boys. So I felt uncomfortable, and I didn't want to breastfeed around them. So I ended up having to substitute and give my daughter formula because I did not want to breastfeed freely. I was really in an uncomfortable situation. I felt like me as a single mother and as wanting to breastfeed, I shouldn't be openly willing to breastfeed around my male family members. So I had to make the choice to put my daughter on formula. And I know next time if God ever blesses me with another child, I'm not putting my child on formula. My daughter went through hell on formula, but that's another story. Her first year was hell. But that's another story about Kai. But yeah, she was the most beautiful baby. I love her to the moon and back. And her next story, I will definitely tell y'all if her father showed up in her life or not. But that'll be another story. Yeah, and I never got a chance to breastfeed her after a month of her life. And her first year was it was a great year for her. but a depressing year for me because I always cried and I always prayed and I always rocked back and forth and I always been through all emotional. I went through a lot of emotion because I was by myself and I couldn't care. I had, I believe I had postpartum, but I didn't know how to go about that of getting help and who to talk to. I was always afraid to talk to anybody. So yeah, this is my story about how I became a single mother of my daughter. And I will give you more stories, more amazing, incredible stories of the rest of her life. So I'm gonna stop here. And I'm gonna give you some advice. If you are a young single mother, I am now 32, I'm going on 33 in March. But if you are a young single mother and you did go through what I was going through, don't mind me, I'm fixing my hair because it's in my eyes. Get help. You're not selfish. If you want somebody to watch your child, or if you want somebody to talk to, or if you want somebody to be there for you, or if you just want a friend, get a friend. Because going through that journey by yourself, being pregnant, is hard. It is hard. People will say they'll be there for you, but trust me, baby, everybody has their own life. And you end up in it alone. And if you end up in it alone, it becomes depressing. Trust me. I was depressed. I kind of still am 5 years later, but I'm only, it ain't because I'm a mother, I'm depressed because of other things. But I'm working on it and getting myself together. But let me tell you, being a mother is very rewarding. And it's very amazing. And I'm so thankful for my daughter. I'm so thankful for every battle, every trial, every tribulation, every up, every down that we have been through together in these 5 years. And I thank God for allowing me to be able to carry her and her being healthy and amazing. But we're going to end on this note. And I want to say, be silly, be honest, be you. You are amazing. And thank you for following me. And thank you for listening. If you got to the end, thank you for listening. And if you did get to the end, leave me a blue butterfly to know that, in my comments below, to know that you got to the end and you were listening. And I love you. And thank you. And I'll be back in another vlog. Bye-bye.